Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a really special tasting.
Hi everybody.
So today we're tasting a special wine. We're tasting the Ashbourne Pinotage, the 2018. Just a little bit about Ashbourne. It's a property situated on the eastern border of the Hamilton Russell vineyards, founded by Anthony Hamilton Russell in 1996. And if I'm not mistaken, the 2001 was the first vintage of the Ashbourne.
Well, it's a brand completely on its own, and I think what they wanted to do, because Pinotage have had such a bad rap in South Africa of wines that's overly extracted or bitter on the finish or big and clumsy, I think what they wanted to do was to show that they can make these ethereal wines from these clay kind of soils. I mean, it's quite cool soils, but this wine delivers something quite ethereal. It's got a lot of fruit. I mean, I haven't tasted it for
Neither
a while.
have I,
So well, let's get into it and taste it.
Sure.
Because I think once we know where this wine's going with us, we can plan.
Sure.
We're gonna eat around it.
2018 vintage was really, really low yields. Fairly cool November, December. So the yields are just over 3.5 tons per hectare. It has spent 10 months in 400 litre French oak barrels, and then an additional 7 months in 2,000 litre little tanks. And that, I mean, that's just elegance.
Yeah, I think when you plunge your nose into it, the whole idea about this wine is that fruit is the hero. And you get this very intense mulberry, blackberry. I get like a cool, even like a fennel, oregano note. So beautifully perfumed. That's something I always personally look for in a Pinotage.
Sure.
I like something that's quite perfumed. Quite perfumey wine makes me salivate for more, because you know it's going to be dainty and you expect something that's dainty to follow.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't mean that wine is going to be, you know, it's still going to be big and structured. But have you tasted it?
I have taken a very small sip, but I mean, this is elegance personified.
Some red licorice.
On the palate, this wine is exceptional in the sense of balance. The fruit, the acidity, the alcohol, the oak integration. This is, I mean, think about Pinotage first and foremost, Sam. Yeah, you've got a cool climate Pinotage that is out of this world.
But the oak is the supportive role here. I mean, you get a very, almost like a powdery porcelain tannin. So it finishes quite dry. I think the wine is extremely young. So it's a little bit astringent still on my back palate. I think
it's something I don't like though, the
no,
stringency.
No, I know, but that is an integration that will still happen over time. This wine is a baby.
Sure it is.
So I think that astringency will eventually kind of plateau out, and the wine will become a little bit more softer, more velvety. Now I think it's what I notice most about this wine at the moment is it's that almost like a stark minerality about it. It's almost like got a slaty undertone to it.
Sure.
And the extremely smart use of oak, I think, is beautiful.
But you're not talking about salivating. I mean, the wine is salivatable on its own, if there is such a word.
No,
but,
I don't know that.
But I mean, think of food.
Okay. So here's some. So we're here to find a match for this wine. So if you, let's call you the matchmaker. What will you pair with the Ashbourne Pinotage?
I think this.
What will you pair with the Ashbourne Pinotage 2018 specifically? A young wine with life ahead of it.
Almost describing me again. But this is a type of wine that personally I think it's a wine that needs to be on a very innovative wine list. It's a wine that needs to be with very, very daring cuisine. I think you need to really think out of the box with this. Sure, it's going to go well with venison. Sure, it's going to go well with oxtails and stews, etc. But I think one needs to just move to the side slightly. And I'm thinking vegetables. Out of all things, I honestly think this is a wine that will go extremely well with vivacious vegetables. And to be specific, mushrooms. I think this wine's going to go exceptional with real porcini mushrooms.
Think about why mushrooms.
I think the earthiness of the mushrooms is going to enhance and both the fruit and the acidity in the wine.
No, but I'm trying to get something different out of you. What is the ancestors to this wine?
Pinot Noir and Cinsault
Okay, what does Pinot usually go with?
goes very well with mushrooms.
Well, Pinot Noir always have this like kind of a walk through the forest kind of feel, quite a magical, feel to it. And you see these mushrooms popping up without being on anything, you know what I mean? and then Cinto being, you know, bringing all that acidity and more of a lean character but ripeness to it.
Sure.
And Pinotage brings us all together. So I think that's why you see this deep, dark, intense wine, but you're thinking of the deep, dark intensity maybe in a jus or in a sauce.
Absolutely.
And let the food still be light. I mean,
Sure.
the chewiness of a mushroom, like oyster mushrooms,
Correct.
still contributes to that, to
It'll
the,
hold
to,
up.
to the depth of the wine.
Yeah, it'll certainly hold up. I mean, this wine won't dominate it. And I think even a plain, proper porcini mushroom with garlic, oregano, and a slight dash of lemon juice would go exceptionally well. You take a ciabatta bread, you break the ciabatta bread, a nice scarpetta with a mushroom sauce, and this wine is going to be perfect.
And it is vegan friendly.
It's vegan friendly.
So vegan friendly, beautiful vegetables on your plate. It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it is. By the way, for the people that follow ratings, I mean, the accolades this wine is picking up and has picked up is unbelievable. 95 points Tim Atkin, and many other 90 plus points from different wine writers, wine people in the industry, and doing exceptionally well overseas. And the aspect, un pochettino, 50% of it is exported and 50% sold in South Africa. Any idea on the price?
It's about 750, 780, around about there. It sounds pricey, but remember this wine is like chiseled to perfection. It's a project that they started out knowing that they're going to have a small yield.
Sure.
And a lot of love and passion went into this project, and making this a wine to really, go and find and make it your mission to go and taste it in the Emmeline Ardor. And you can buy it through a wine cellar.
Sure.
Online, and there's not much else to say, because I think the wine will speak for itself once you pour that first glass, and that's what we intend to do while you get into the kitchen, young sir.
Thank you, young lady. Salute, Bella.
Salute. Did I say salute wrong? You gave me the eye.